sure it went through on my Discord. Okay, it's out in the Discord. Do you want to put it in your Discord too? I
Yeah.
forget if you did or not.
I'll do it.
And we are there. Sick. Sick. What's up, peeps? What's up? Hey, Chad is in the house. Let's go. What's up, Hansel? He's in the house too. Fuck yeah. Guys, if you're in the chat, it's oh, you know what? It's your responsibility now as much as it is mine. The thing is, I can't hear what I sound like when I'm recording as when you're listening. So if my audio sucks or if my video sucks or if something sucks, you have to put it in the chat. Otherwise, we will not know. I will never know. Tom will never know because we're recording it. So you have, Bryce, you're in charge of this. Hansel, you're in charge of this. Squishitude, Summit fam, let's fucking go. Let's go. Summit fam is in the house. Hansel's in the house. Bryce is in the house. Fuck yeah. What is up, fam?
The boys are in the house.
Okay, Hansel says audio visual is all good. Okay, you said it. If everything goes wrong, it's all your fault, Hansel.
How sexual do we look though?
Well, Tom looks almost sexual. He just needs to. We need to get his shipments in to get his audio visual on NFT Nate's level.
Yeah, we need to be. We'll be over the next kind of few weeks. We are going to be steadily improving.
It's gonna look sick, dude.
It will, because I will look sick. We are going to be Gucci. I'm going to be Gucci. I'm going to look fucking hot as fuck.
It's wild because as soon as I got this set up and I plugged in everything and it worked seamlessly on the first try, I was sitting there and I was like, I've been going live for 3 months and this took 10 seconds to set up to make it look good. And I was just like, I fucking hate myself.
Anthony, what's up, man?
What's up, everybody? Okay, so we're gonna get started right now. Actually, we appreciate you guys all being in here in today's episode of Tea Time with Tom in the Joyage Kingdom. We've got a lot of stuff related to the ape coin and how it's going to affect the rest of the market in crypto and NFTs and gaming and all that stuff because they're all kind of linked together. Then we're going to talk about the bull run or the bear run or wherever we're at. Some of our predictions from a couple weeks ago that may or may not come true. We're talking about updates on my NFT project from the summer, from back in the summer. We'll talk about some NFT projects that have held up pretty strong in the bear market, and then some that have not done as well. We're going to talk about Hate Beast because I just covered them in the first episode of Brutally Honest Updates because a lot of people had thoughts on that. And then GameStop NFT is happening apparently, and they just kind of came out of nowhere. I remember they made some announcement a while ago. I thought Coinbase would happen before Reddit or GameStop did, but I guess GameStop already has their beta version out, so a lot of shit to talk about. All right, 3, 2, 1. Baller. Okay, sharing my screen. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay, well, I guess Restream has decided to revoke. Oh, wait, no, did it? No, it did not. All right, well, Restream effed up again, and I guess I can't share my screen. That's okay. It worked literally yesterday, but it's totally fine. Okay, I'll just pull it up on my phone. It's totally fine. I hate technology. Okay. Crypto, what's it called? Crypto market cap or coin market cap?
Yeah.
Okay, coin market cap. So we got Bitcoin at 42K. Just for people who don't know, I think this should work because I think my screen is flipped. So I'll actually read this. Oh, you can. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so we got Bitcoin. Yeah. Oh, this is actually kind of fine. This is actually really good quality. So we got Bitcoin at 42K. Oh, shit. All right. Here we go. This is the chart for I think this is just the 1 day. But let's zoom out to 3 months. This is what we're looking at for the Bitcoin chart for 3 months. So, a lot of up and down. It looks like the market can't decide what the fuck it wants to do. And this is very, that's pretty much on point with what's going on in NFTs and crypto. I don't know what your thoughts are on the entire market of crypto and NFTs, but it is a lot of wish-wash, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah, so same situation as when we last spoke a couple of weeks ago. Loads of fear in the general financial markets, loads of fear in all trading markets and economies based around the war. And I think that makes it means that no one knows what's going on. Everyone's and especially when it comes to NFTs, you know, as we spoke about, like one of the most illiquid asset classes out there at the moment, and people just aren't wanting to place bets that they know they can't get out of. So yeah, we're just seeing that kind of consolidation with Bitcoin. We're seeing the same with I think with NFT trading volume as well. Like it's just flickering. We saw a big boost with ApeCoin the other day, and what people thought might be an injection into the kind of NFT market that might end up in a bull run, with a bunch of liquidity coming through from the Bored Apes. I don't know if we necessarily saw that. I think that
kind of came out of nowhere, dude. I remember right when that sort of happened, I made a video, which I wish I didn't make, and I already filmed the video for my rebuttal to my own video. In that video, I said, damn, I wish I hadn't made that video because I didn't believe what I said. Like in that video, I basically said my original prediction was we're at least 2 weeks away from anything related to a bull run. And then in that video, I said, but because of all this new news, like maybe it's going to happen sooner. And the thing is, even in that video, I said, I still don't think this news and affecting the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club community is remotely close to enough liquidity we would need in the full market to spark another bull run to get people to throw their money everywhere, because a multitude of reasons, including the fact that we did not have a crypto bull run, which gave people liquidity. We had nothing that gave people liquidity other than that ApeCoin. And I was like, I just don't think that's enough of the portion of the whole market to make a real bull run happen. But I still let the news kind of affect me. And I was like, you know what, maybe we are going to happen this next week. But either way, we're coming up. I think we're 4 days away from my original prediction, which would have been about 2 weeks. So we'll see. You know, anything can happen. Like a lot of shit can happen tomorrow, and then 2 days later, we're like, oh, we really are looking at a bull run. You know, like we have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the mechanics from the injection from the Bored Ape ecosystem, it really doesn't really make sense how that would ignite a bull run, because you're just getting a load of people who already have, well, they actually may or may not have a lot of cash. I think at this stage, a lot of them do have a lot of cash. They're just going to throw them into blue chips, which, as we all know, are the most illiquid asset class within NFTs as an asset class. So, you know, it doesn't make sense that how that would ignite any sort of like run, because you need people to buy shit, not just kind of rich people buying the expensive shit.
Yeah, for real.
So yeah.
Anyways, we have with ApeCoin happening. I mean, if you guys don't know the news and all the things with ApeCoin and Bored Ape Yacht Club, I think I've covered everything to do with everything related to that. Just go back on my YouTube channel. I have everything pretty much. But just to give you the quick lowdown, Bored Ape Yacht Club announced their metaverse called The Other Side. I think they made a trailer, which is fucking. What did you think of the trailer? That trailer was something else, I thought. What did you think?
Yeah, it was. But so this is the thing, right? Like we all know that it doesn't take a huge amount of expertise and energy and money to make a fire sneak trailer, whatever it is. Like a bunch of projects have done it, and actually, in fact, you know, fuck people over, because people have been like, "Whoa, my god!" Like Prequel being a massive example of that, right? People thinking that they could create what they had thought they could create within this trailer. I loved it. I thought it was sick. I thought it was like, you know, I saw it, I was watching it, and I was like, I'm seeing this as like cartoons, as toys, as so it was a cool feeling, because I was like, wow, this is legit, and this is where I want it to go. Like you saw like the cool cat in there, like that was mutant. Fun. It's just it's fun. Like I'm like, wow, okay, this is where potentially we can go. So these guys have now, I think it was today or yesterday, they just secured the $450 million kind of like VC injection. So
yeah, they got a lot of money to play with now.
A lot of money, as if they didn't have enough money before. Like the amount of money that they had gained from secondary sales, like it's kind of like, I just don't even know. It's just so much. I'm like, you know, that is, I'd love to just be, I think it'll be super fun for anyone who could get hired into the Bored Ape Yacht Club right now, or Yuga Labs. My God, they're going to have so much fun, but they're going to be pulling in the tightest talent in the world.
Yeah, they
They're
are.
fucking,
It's like Google.
and they are, yeah, exactly. It is exactly that. It is the next early Google, early Amazon,
Or
where the
Yahoo.
smartest,
Could be
yeah,
Yahoo. Could you imagine? Could you fucking imagine if Board Ape Yacht Club shits on everyone? It's like, damn, they really just are overrated. Like, okay, if that happens, who's Amazon? Who swoops in and
yeah.
everyone? Who is it?
Well, this is a great question because like you're kind of looking at the players and the at the moment it is only Doodles. Like Doodles
I was gonna say
the
there's
only other
nobody.
brand.
If anyone, it's Doodles, maybe Cool Cats,
It's-
but really nobody.
yeah, no, exactly. No, nobody is anywhere near,
Yeah.
and I still think that's like
It's
that's a really
actually
good thing.
funny
So
how far away they
yeah,
are compared to everybody.
yeah,
Like it's not even remotely close, dude. Mutant Ape Yacht Club
nowhere
is
fucking near.
miles above anyone else. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is yeah. Something is going to happen because like all markets require competition, and I think that I think the community will, especially the community that frankly are priced out of the entire Bored Ape ecosystem, they're going to look to Cool Cats, Doodles, whoever, like Deadfellas, the lower entry point, the easier entry point. And I still laugh about this because you have to remember, like the entry point for some of those that I just mentioned, even the lowest, like Deadfellas, for example, is like 2.5 Ethereum, which is fucking nearly $8,000.
Yeah. Yep.
On a JPEG. Now, if that is not an entry point, that is not a fucking entry point. Like, so I still think we have to remind ourselves daily that we are playing in this very kind of ironically deep yet shallow water where there's a lot of people paddling, but a lot of them have very deep pockets.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that by no means it doesn't mean like mass adoption or anywhere near mass adoption. But it's the start. And it's cool to see.
And Bryce says it here. It's super cool to see your character in production. This is why, me and you have been yelling about projects needing video. Like I say in literally every single video, I'm like, I don't even know why people hire me anymore. I'm like, you literally know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say you haven't done enough video, and I'm going to say you should have spent more than 2 weeks on marketing. Like that's literally the answer for all new projects. That you guys don't need to hire me anymore. No one needs to hire me for console calls. Just watch any video I've ever made, and that is your console call because I'm pretty much just going to say the same thing. And that's literally it, dude. But like, yeah, seeing those projects move like that scene where they all had the slow motion, like with the mutant ape where it like waved his head and the cool cat did like the kiss, that was actually like kind of crazy. And I wish I had held one of the projects I was in the video so I could see that happen for a project that I'm in. And that's why I love Cool Man and Subducks, because like they have brought those characters to life. And Subducks has that show and they've got the animation a little bit. Cool Man has like their actual show, and it's fun to see your own character basically be in a real thing being watched. The main bit is being watched by people. It makes you feel a little bit more like proud to be in that, because you're like, damn, like people care about this, and that's where the flexing comes in.
Big time.
And then Bryce says, I'll still take the money. Yeah, I've actually been thinking in terms of US dollars recently. That's a switch I made recently. I used to think in terms of ETH after like it took me a couple months to get out of the US dollar mindset. And then I switched into ETH because I was trying to get into some of these cool projects I want to get in, these blue chips. But now that I'm in a couple of the ones that I want to be in, there's only less than a handful I care to hold anyway. Now I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to switch back into US dollars because there's not a whole lot of shit that I care to be in right now in the digital world, especially if they're not going to bring in real life stuff. And so I'm like, all right, now it's time to buy some stuff in real life, like get my life started and stuff like that. So
yeah, dude, here's a little bit of like, let's completely remove ourselves from NFTs for a second and talk about just like life and entrepreneurship, because I think a lot of us here, I know we think about that, and I've been thinking about this a lot, right? About okay, well we're in the NFT space, which is you can. I personally do not think that you can look at the NFT space right now and look at it as a long-term like asset investment, as in like a safe. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't look at it unless you are extremely wealthy and you have 250.
You would literally have to have stupid money.
You do. You have to have stupid money. You have to have millions and millions for it to be okay, like a long, potentially a long-term hold. But then who are you selling to, right?
Exactly.
The the thing that I've been thinking about is like, okay, for people like us who are at the start of our careers, and we've spoken about this before, in that kind of the pathway to on entrepreneurship is basically just like stacking skills on top of one another. You know, whether for us as content creators, it's okay, well, how do you come up with ideas for videos? And then the next step is, how do you create the video? And then the next step is, how do you get the audio for the video better, a little bit better? And this, how do you get how do you work DSLRs or whatever to get a higher, you know, it's just the incremental steps. At the moment, I look at what we're doing and I see us, I'm really not looking at NFTs as like long-term investments. I'm looking at it purely as a way to help meet people who are builders in this, who want to build stuff, who want to move the frontier of Web3 forward. And I'm really here just to use NFTs as a way to get access to people. And 100%. It's at the end of the day, I'm not going to create life-changing money from flipping NFTs. Just, you know, unless you lucked out and you minted a Bored Ape, and that was, you didn't have any net worth at that point, and all of a sudden you do. Ain't no one is creating life-changing like money from I mean, unless you're in, I suppose, geolocations where that kind of money is super life-changing.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people in at least the Western world, it's not. It's like for us living in expensive cities, it's not. So I think for the people who watch these videos, depending on where you're at, I think for the next 6 months, 9 months, for the next year, think about how you can contribute to this space, and don't just be a spectator, be an addition, be a creator.
100%.
Because that is what is going to build your bag eventually.
100,000 fucking percent. No, that's super smart, because I think people think that if they just spend enough time, they'll land that 5,000x, and that's just not true, dude. I've been here for 6 months, or not 6 months. I don't know how long. Almost, actually,
I think it's like 9 months for you, man.
Yeah, closing up on a year and a couple months here. But I have not made a flip that's that level, because the thing is, like, people who made that kind of flip, who invested in something in June, got lucky. Like, there's no other answer, because if you make a massive flip now, you can use history and strategies and blah 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 to make that flip happen. But back in June, there was nothing to actually look at, and it was pure guessing. There was no communities built. There was nothing to look back on. It was all 100% guessing. So anyone who minted a Bored Ape Yacht Club at that point, it's like you could have minted Bored Ape Yacht Club or fucking whatever else club, and like the other one went to zero. And so it's one of those things that, like, you can do well in NFTs. You can make money. You can make a $400 investment turn to $2,000, sure. But then you're going to buy another NFT with that $2,000, and it's going to go to $2,500, and then you're going to use 800 of that to degen. You're going to lose the 800, and then you're going to realize, oh, I only made like $10,000 in an entire year, kind of thing. Like, that's like the realistic thing for people in this space who are even good. You know, like, most people just aren't making that level unless you're able to mint 40 to 50 NFTs, like some people are doing. Unless you're able to do that and really just throw around an ETH like that at mints and degen stuff, it's just not really realistic. And so, yeah, I agree with you saying it's better to make some sort of a career or job or connections in this space. That's going to be way more realistic for most people. You know, like Bryce is in here. He's getting a lot of experience networking with people. He's getting some experience being a community manager, working in Discords. I think he's doing some of their stuff in a couple other ones. And that's what you should be doing, dude, because you can meet the craziest people doing that shit. Like Mikey G, one of the ex-mods, a hate beast, he literally just cold DM'd their Digimental dude, like right at the very, very beginning. And now he's got that connection with a guy that, well, potentially, maybe he does something later down the line. But that was just like random, dude. Like, anyone could have messaged him, and at that point been like, mod, and like, yeah, and like, great, now you're in. So I think getting jobs in Web3 is really the answer.
NFTs right now are the great leveler of networking, where if you get involved in the discourse on Twitter and within Discords, you do have access to some really big hitters. And that's why I set up my private Discord group is to have guys like, you know, we've got Anthony, he's in the chat right now. He's a project founder. He is like a crypto native since like 2016. He's like a specialist in cybersecurity, worked for some of the biggest consultancy firms in the world, and his team are full of guys that have worked for the biggest banks in the world. It's how can you fucking get through and connect with some seriously talented and experienced people and learn. It's how much can you learn right now, because everything is new. Everything is fucking new.
I mean, I just interviewed this the founder of a project, and I have no idea if the project will do well, but he's like a multi-billionaire entrepreneur tech startup dude. So I was just talking to him, and I'm like, okay, regardless if your project sucks or not, like, you're very fucking smart and you're very seasoned, and there's a lot of shit I can learn from you. And in what world am I going to be able to literally sit down for an hour and a half and talk to a billionaire CEO, tech startup entrepreneur? That's not a thing, dude. I'm a YouTuber living in my parents' house. Like, what the fuck? Wild, bro.
Exactly. It is exactly the example.
Wild.
Like it is. You all of a sudden you have access to people that you never ever could have had access to, and they speak to you as on a level playing field, which is the cool thing.
That's the best part.
And that's the thing I've experienced. That is the best part. It's like no one. Well, I haven't come across many who are, you know, things need to be done this way. Everyone is just open-minded, and it's so cool having conversations with people. That's why I love. You know, the problem is the issue is, sometimes I can find I spend too much time on calls with people because they can easily go to like 2 hours, like easily. They're anyone to speak to. And then, you know, that's the struggle, is that it's so cool meeting people.
100%. And before we move on to the whatever we were about to talk about, for NFT NYC, I haven't decided if I'm going to buy a ticket as far as like going to the keynote speeches, because I think you're going to meet way more people just out and about at pubs or wherever, or at whatever NFT project that you're a big fan of. If you're in like one of those blue chip projects, they're going to hold an event. That's a big place to connect and do networking. That's going to be way more fun and authentic than, cause I just feel like if you're going to connect with, network with people, the keynotes and buying the ticket to go sit in those lunch rooms and like sit at tables, you're like, even if you meet someone, it's gonna be for like a couple minutes. And it's like, I feel like you're not going to really make that many connections at those places. But what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, completely agree. So I think about like I've been to a lot of like corporate events before, and I think this is different. I struggle in kind of keynote type situations. I can easily fall asleep when I go to like the cinema.
Exactly, bro. Like I don't care to be in those.
It's like, if I'm going to spend like, I could, you know, if I'm going to spend $700 on a ticket, I mean, I may as well keep that $700 for my bar tab, because
exactly, bro,
that's going to be more effective.
So much money.
Exactly. And so yeah, you think about all of the vlogs that you've seen, all of the behind the scenes clips. They're just always they're parties from whoever.
Yeah, if you're going to make content, you're not going to film in the keynotes. Exactly.
And I hope so, but typically Gary Vee always posts his keynotes. That's part of his like that's part of his deal, is that he gets to keep the recording and post it on his channel. And to be honest, there's not many people out there I really I necessarily want to speak to or listen to. Because they're typically the people that we're having a discourse with every day. Like
exactly.
So, you know, listening on Twitter Spaces, for example, or streaming or whatever it is. I just want to meet these fuckers in real life, like you. I want to meet you.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. It's gonna be lit. We're gonna do a tea time with Tom in Marion Square or somewhere in real life. That'd actually be really fun. I think this may be an active manifestation. I saw Logan Paul and Impulsive, their podcast, did a live show in Ohio or wherever they were traveling. And I was like, bro, I mean, we're not going to have an entire auditorium filled, but I was like, bro, we could do a little 20-minute or 30-minute tea time episode with a few people if they end up being there or something. That'd be fun as fuck. And we could like bring them in, you know, like I'm going to bring not my whole setup. I'm going to have my mic and my camera with me to film content. And I'm going to have like 75 batteries with me. And so it should be fun. It should be fun. I'm really excited about that.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like, I'm excited to go out there, vlog, do this stuff. I definitely think, let's try and set something up, like find like maybe a slightly larger cafe that might be willing to shut down for a couple of hours or whatever, get in there. Yeah, let's try and make it happen.
Definitely down. Because when I was in Boston, I just like pulled up and like found some random park thing in the middle of the campus of Harvard, and I just set up my cameras and I just did a podcast like right in the middle of campus. And it was chill. Like I'm not like super obnoxiously loud. I was just like recording my podcast, had my mic really close to my face, so I could just almost whisper. But like we could totally, even if it was something low key like that, I think that'd be fun as fuck. And it'd probably be better if we only had a few people. We wouldn't want to, we wouldn't like want to attract a whole crowd because we'd probably get shut down. But anyways, before we get too off topic here, even though that was super on topic and that was actually pretty fun to talk about, as far as with what ApeCoin has done, they're sitting at 39th on the charts, right? So here's where they're at. Come on, camera. ApeCoin's sitting at number 39, right under Sandbox, right above Axie. That's pretty interesting to me because that's like kind of their competitors right there. And something, if you guys don't know this, if you haven't watched my ApeCoin full breakdown, you should watch this. Animoca Brands is one of the main contributors to ApeCoin. And if you don't know, and Animoca Brands also works very, very closely with and has helped invest and start with the Sandbox and Axie and basically all the big gaming platforms because that's what they do. And so it's really interesting to me that ApeCoin is literally in direct conflict with them, trying to literally be a top 10 coin. Sandbox is trying to be a top 10 coin. What the hell is going to happen? Are we going to have a situation where people think is going to happen with DeFi where Polkadot, Cardano, Ethereum, everyone is all, singing Kumbaya together, but Ethereum's at the top? Is it going to be like that where, ApeCoin, Sandbox, Decentraland are all singing Kumbaya, but ApeCoin's at the top? Or I'm just interested to see what your opinion is and what everyone is in the chat, what you guys think about it.
Yeah, it's very difficult for me at the moment to be honest, even think about that kind of stuff because purely because we haven't seen any like massive shifts in market trends. We haven't seen any big runs. We haven't for the last nearly 3 months now. It's been 2 months, I suppose, but it feels like forever. Things have just been in like this consolidation kind of phase where just has been moving laterally and we haven't seen any movement. I don't follow like the massive kind of whatever the sprints that the Sandbox are doing. I just know that there's not great sentiment about the long-term kind of outlook for Axie. And it kind of, at least from the people that I follow, seems to be that the gig might be up for them just because
I've heard too.
Yeah. So, but the Sandbox is a much kind of more tastier prospect. But I don't know. Yeah. At the moment, it's like still super early. Like I'm just glad that there's a kind of a real big time NFT player in there now.
Yeah, 100%. With the good thing about it says nice mustache, solid mustache.
Cheers, bro. Cheers.
With interesting with Axie and Sandbox, I have heard that also the same narrative with Axie that it sucks, and then people say who've played games on the Sandbox are like, yeah, this shit is not that good. it's pretty much fucking average at best. So the good thing is it doesn't matter if it's good or not. What matters is the narrative. The narrative is Axie is one of the big players in gaming. So when there is inevitably another gaming bull run and Alex Becker sends out that iconic tweet, gaming bull run, it's over. Everyone's going to fly to the moon. Everyone's going to do their 3, 4X, whatever. And so with ApeCoin, I'm just very interested to see where they end up in a gaming bull run because they have nothing to show for it yet. All they have is the trailer, which basically also cemented the idea that the land sale is going to happen. I haven't seen if this completely confirmed, but it's like it is. If they're going to have a metaverse, there has to be land, right? So there's just no reason not to. They're going to make $1 bajillion off that too.
Yeah, I thought that was confirmed.
It may be confirmed. I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Yuga Labs, but
okay. It was what was it? I thought it was like 200,000 plots, right, of land.
That's what I've heard. And I think a lot of people have said it came from Yuga Labs, but I haven't seen an official statement from Yuga Labs saying that the land is happening. So I don't fucking know. Either way, it's probably going to happen anyway. So it's basically confirmed, which is going to be wild, when that happens. And so when ApeCoin goes up, inevitably all the gaming coins go up. It's the same thing with all the crypto market. There's a lot of shit stuff that always pump in a bull run. Like it's just what happens in a bull run. For people who don't understand economics and marketing and supply and demand shit. And also the fact that crypto is basically trading narrative and trading hype. Uh, the reason things pump in a bull run is because people are willing to take chances in a bull run. That is why stuff pumps. You know, the reason dumb shit pumps in a bull run is because people say, I have money to spend because all my other investments are up. You know, they haven't taken liquidity most of the time, but like everything's up. This one's probably going to go up. Fuck it. You know, that's why things pump. It's not because this project is good or bad. It's just literally because people don't give a fuck in a bull run. And that's the good part and the bad part about NFTs. It's like, that's the fairy tale. It's like, oh, well, if no one gives a fuck, this thing I could mint it for 0.05. It could fly to 2 ETH. And like, yes, that happens, but there's a reason that there's only like 4 or 5 projects that people actually hear about, because it's really only 4 or 5 projects that happens to. Most projects don't do a 25x overnight. And hold on. Someone just said, I think it was confirmed 200K plots of land at 1 ETH. Don't quote me.
So that's what I've heard. I heard that the like 1 ETH thing today, but again, didn't validate that. But I think the 200,000 plots came from the leak of the pitch deck from Yuga Labs. So I think that's where it came from. It was like it was in the pitch deck that they were doing land. So I've just done some quick maths on my computer. Do you know how much 200,000 at 1 ETH is in US dollars?
No. What is that?
It is
wait. Let me guess.
Yeah, do it.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna throw out a random number. I'm gonna look so stupid. 500 million.
600 million.
Oh shit! I was actually kind of close. I completely threw that number out. Holy shit!
That's so good. 600 million US dollars. Imagine that as a mint.
Oh my god, that is so much money. 600 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, because they need so much more now, because they need to build that land, right? You know
what the stupidest shit is about all this, Tom? They're about to make $600 million, and if your grandma walked in and said, "What did they give you?" Nothing. Nothing, bro. A fucking picture. Picture of some fucking dirt. That's what they get. Like, that is wild to me. That is why that's actually, even though I'm bullish on the biofuels ecosystem, that's why I got out. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, why the fuck am I holding this bio land? Like, I literally don't want this, but it's worth $10,000. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Like, that was my thought process with it. Because I was just like, bro, I don't even care if it might go to 10 ETH, but I'm just like, I don't want to hold this piece of land or whatever this is.
Exactly. It's not worth the risk, man. It's not worth
but here's the thing with Bored Ape Yacht Club, is 1 ETH a good buy-in for land? Is it going to go straight up, or is it going to, like, I feel like 1 ETH is a pretty low point for the Bored Ape Yacht Club, especially because the Mutant Apes minted at 3 ETH, I think, for their Dutch auction, and they're at a 20 ETH floor now.
I suppose the question to the answer is like, it depends on your time horizon. It depends on where you're like, where, as in 1 ETH could be a great buy-in if we're looking in like 10 years, 20 years, but I think at 200,000 units, it's just, that just seems like, you know, I just assume we're just going to see fucking load of whales just sweep. We're just going to, same shit. It's just going to be a load of fucking mega rich people just sweeping the piss out of the entire collection. And then again, normal people will be priced out.
What's your thought with Alexis, I think his name is Alexis, the founder of Reddit? I listened to Twitter Spaces right when the ApeCoin launched, and he said something that I disagreed with entirely, and I talked about this in my video, was that he said Bored Ape Yacht Club has the same feel that Reddit has in the beginning, as far as like, oh, it's all like band together culture, blah blah blah. And I was like, but it's based on money. Like, if Bored Ape Yacht Club does well, everyone gets rich. Reddit back then, like, well, one, Reddit had nothing to look back on. Now people look at Bored Ape Yacht Club and say, yo, if we pump this up like people did 20 years ago with this other thing, we'll get rich. So it's like, but when Reddit was happening, there wasn't that thing to look back on. It was just like, yo, let's fucking make this thing big because we're losers and we don't know what else to do. Like, that's really what it was. Like, that's different. Then, like, let's get fucking rich. That's what my thought was. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, it's apples and oranges. And no, man, it's fucking stupid. Like, connecting a goddamn like message board of nerds, of like global nerds.
Reddit is like, fucking awesome, though.
Reddit is awesome. It is awesome. But like that is what it is. And you're comparing that to crazy expensive fucking JPEG files.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot different.
No.
I mean, he was saying the culture, which I get. I think I get where he was going. I just think that he didn't think through like why people would want to push the culture. I'm like, it's because they want to get rich. That's why. They want this to be cool.
This is what I do fucking hate this. Like, I hate this kind of like this mentality that it's all about community and, you know, oh, like this NFT project has a great community. This NFT project has a shit community, whatever. And it's like, the fucking reality is that most of all of us are all in those communities because especially if you have fucking Nitro, you've got 200 servers that you can be in. So everyone is in the same community. It just depends how much money you have to determine which ones you're in. And that's all it is. It's just a paywall. And I think a lot of people forget that, like, do you really think the guys that, you know, especially if you're in your early 20s and stuff, do you really think that there are people your age that have enough cash to be buying into these expensive projects? No, they are people in their 30s, 40s, people who have sold businesses, 50s, 60s, tech guys, who are, you would never in real life, you would never connect with. You'd never fucking, because you'd have nothing in common. But they are hiding.
The other thing with the NFTs is like, if your project goes to zero, it's like, I don't think that community is going to survive. Like, when people buy a project, I'm going to hold this. I'm like, okay, have you thought about if it goes to zero though? Is that vibe still there? And when the project goes to zero, like, people were loving Cryptodes by Gremlin when it was at 10th floor, whatever it was. And then when it tanked all the way to 1 in this past bear run, people were like, yo, fuck this project. We don't even like it. Fuck the vibes. And I was like, yo, fuck all of you for saying that. And then now it gets dropped in this fucking Boy Biacco video, pumps right back. Oh, vibes. I'm like, no. Suck. All of you suck. Anyone in the cryptos, like, you all suck, dude. You can't not suck and like literally have that happen. Like, that's a literally pure, like, you're not there for the vibes, you are there for the money. And that is like, it showed the true colors there in that last bear run, because people literally were coming out saying, fuck this, like, vibes are not here, fuck the toes. And it was just ridiculous, dude. Like, unbelievable.
So true, man. So true.
That shit was funny as fuck though, because I called them out in a video like months before, and I was like, bro, this project's not that cool. Like, it's just not that cool. And then I was like, I think it's just because it's a high floor price. Like, I think that's why people like it. I mean, that's the same reason. Like, we're gonna talk about Hape later on, but that's the same reason Hapebeast had such a good perspective, or people had a good perspective at the very beginning, and then after a little bit of time, and like, people were like, oh man, fuck this project. It's just like, what? They're like, no, we're here for the culture. I'm like, no, you are not here for the culture, fam. You're just not. And, you know, the faster you can, like, just be okay with that, it's okay. Like, it's not bad. All the projects I'm in that I hold, if they go to zero and people start fudding, like, they will FUD. Even the projects that I know have the strongest communities, even Lazy Lions, dude, the most like prideful project ever. If that project goes to zero, people will all say fuck Lions. Like, that's just the reality of it. It's an asset. You know, it's an asset. It is a community, but it's based on money.
It's like, it's the remember. So like assets, they have to gain value from something. And like in a typical business world, like a business is an asset, and because it produces cash. And it can appreciate if it produces more cash year on year. It's stuff that are like, that, you know, for a lot of these projects, they're running like fucking liabilities, because they are not producing cash. They are not revenue producing. They have run by fuckwits who have no idea how to grow a business and grow a community and like actually, you know, actually create something. You know, there's anyone, as the NFT scene has proven, like, the space has proven that anyone can create a generative collection of 10,000 items of fucking shit.
Yeah.
And that they can sell out, but very quickly they'll, you know, the people who are left holding that bag realize that those people need jack shit.
Yeah. Well, you have to have something reason to hold. Like for almost every
Yeah.
project, there's no reason to hold past the pre-sale. Like none. Like that's the reason that if Antonym hadn't had that in real life thing, like hey, you have to hold this to get the in real life thing, and they launched at the point they did in the market, that project would have gone to under point one after the mint. Like it would have, because there's no reason to hold after that little gambling session for the pre-reveal. And that's literally the reality of it. Like there's literally, whenever you mint, there's no reason to hold through the reveal. Like you're not going to get a rare. It's just not going to happen. And it's dumb, dude. Like you can always buy back in. But the thing is, everyone knows that. Like everyone still makes the same mistake. So you can pretty much always play that game. At some point, I'm sure there will be enough smart people to maybe offset that a little bit. But the funny thing is that you and I have seen this because we've been here for a while, but every time we get new supporters and then they go through this bull run with us and then they go through the bear run and then they're like, man, this next bull run is going to be so different because now we're all so smart. And I'm like, you think that until you've been through a couple and you realize that there's always another influx of new people who don't understand anything. And that's the reason this shit works. If they don't come in, there's no gambling anymore. If people understand what's going on, there's no more gambling. So it's like you like almost relying on stupidity to make this shit work.
Yeah, so there is an actual definition for this, and it's called the greater fools theory. Is that you have a system, and the system is dependent on a greater fool coming in, without as much knowledge as the previous segment of people coming in, and the previous segment basically dump on the next greater fool, and then that cycle just continues. Another good example of what I've good analogy that I've heard is like we're playing like hot potato with it's just like who can be the last person to hold.
It's like when people talk about the relationships, they're like with girls or guys, they're like, yo, that is not your girl, that is not your guy, it is just your turn. And I was just like, oh god.
That's so
it's
true.
fucking wild though, because like every time you're in a relationship, you're like in there with them, but then you're like, damn bro, like you were in a relationship like last year and you were in it with them, and you were in another one like a year before that, and like I was in one before, and it's just like, wow, well, it really is just our turn.
That's
funny as fuck.
It's so funny, man.
Okay. Anthony, you're right, dude. If you're not smashing the like button, if you're not subscribed to the channel, if you're not going to the links in the description, because Tom's shit is in there, or everyone's shit should be in there. I hope it's in there. I think I don't even know, dude. The link should be in there. If not, Tom Young's on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure it's the Tom Young's on Twitter. Follow us, dude. I don't know what you're doing if you're not. Anyways, let's move on to OpenSea volume for the last 30 days looks like this right now. 390,000 users, $2.1 million in transactions, volume of 2.3 billion. And in the last 30 days, we had that run up, which is the ApeCoin Bored Ape Yacht Club news, where we almost launched into a bull run, but basically because the liquidity wasn't really there, we just pooped right after that. It was just like an initial pump up. So if you were looking to get out, that probably would have been it. It did look kind of fishy when we were looking at it. We're like, man, is this really going to be the start? I mean, every single I think the reason it almost worked is because every bull run has basically been started by a Bored Ape Yacht Club thing. And so in my head, I was like, well, shit. I mean, it could happen. It very well could happen. And I would not be surprised. I'm a little bit surprised if this happens, just because I don't think there was enough time or liquidity that came into the market that's new. But also Anthony Lewis is a fellow Londoner. Fire.
My man.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. It's a quick tangent. So my collection, if for some of you guys who know, I have the Joyage Quest to Nowhere collection. The floor is 0.42, and there's only 20 items, but there's 46 because I added all these alternates. So right now I think there's 3 listed. I think it's 0.42, 1 Ethereum, and then 10 Ethereum. So it's a bit expensive to get in. But for all my current holders, I just uploaded all these new photos into the collection. And there's some really, really fucking awesome ones in here, actually. And if you're planning on doing the swapping, if you're a holder, make sure you click on the descriptions, because a lot of these have videos attached to them where you can see kind of what was happening when I took that photo, like a vlog or whatever from the traveling, which is fucking awesome. Or there's a TikTok attached to it. Cool. But there's a lot of special pictures in here. And anyone who is not a holder, the interesting thing here with a little bit of the, I don't even know if tokenomics is the word, but like whatever about the project is that if there's an alternate photo in here that you want, there's no way to get that photo unless you buy another access key. And so the way you can do these swapping is this collection, which was made by Sydney Espo, the Royal Joyagers Torch, which is a GIF. You guys know I fucking love GIFs. Here's what the art looks like. It's my
So
hand.
cool.
You see the tattoo, bro? The age tattoo?
Oh yeah.
And then they've got my
Dude, where do I see, where am I going to see this?
it's if you go to my Joyage collection, it's in there like on this, but it's called the Royal Joyagers Touch. It's also in my Discord. It's also in the description here in this video. But so essentially all the details are in my Discord. There's a channel called Royal Joyagers FAQ for holders. There's a pre-sale, so it'd be like private sales that I'll be selling those. And I think after 2 weeks or something like that, I'll do the public sale and it'll be 0.06 because I also want this to be sort of like the Board of Yacht Club in the sense that it's an opportunity to buy into the brand. And there's not going to be many opportunities to buy into the brand as of now. And so it's super fucking cheap. I think for the holders is 0.03 because this is really only for people who care to participate. But there's some really great photos in there. And if you're going to be a lifetime holder anyway, it might just be a good idea to have this torch in case you ever feel like swapping or whatever for whatever reason. And they're super cheap. It's 0.03 for holders, 0.06 for the public sale. I didn't want this to be expensive. And I haven't decided if I'm going to drop this collection and offer the torching ceremony, which is the swapping, if I wanted to wait until the bull run, because a lot of people are illiquid right now, which I found out because a lot of people were like, oh, I want to do it. I just literally don't have money. And I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't even think about that. And for me, it makes no fucking difference. Like, I don't care if this project sells out. In fact, if it doesn't sell out, there's only 36 right now of the torches. If it doesn't sell out, I burn all of the other ones. So it will be a max of 36, but I likely will be less. But yeah, if there's any access keys that are alternates, the only way to get it is to hold 2 of the torches in your wallet and an access key. So it like creates a little bit of demand in there for people who do care. But again, it's not for anyone to buy it and get a 20x. It's literally for fun because I've had a lot of people message me saying they wanted to have some kind of portal system like Krypton Goons has. Like a lot of projects starting to Doodles has it. A lot of projects are doing like a 3D to 2D to the original NFT. So I thought I wanted to participate a little bit, but it's going to be caveman style. I didn't want to hire like a developer and do all this bullshit. I want to be able to, since it's a small community, I want to just be able to like have you DM me and be like, okay, let's do this real quick. I want it to be like that because it's more of an intimate way to do it. And I think that's more fun. But yeah, it's literally just for fun. If you want to buy into the Joyage Kingdom brand, it right now is the only way to get in is either the access keys, which are very expensive right now, or the Royal Joyagers Torch, which you guys will, if you're just in the Discord or my Twitter, I'll be updating you guys on that. But it'll be cheap as fuck. You know, it's always going to be like that. Same with my NFT art when I do one of ones at some point. Those will be cheap as fuck too. I mean, maybe I'll do an auction here or there just to see if I can pull something crazy on an auction. I've seen some motherfuckers sell ridiculous shit, but they're also like real artists, so I don't think that would ever happen. But I've always liked the idea of getting people into the brand who want to be part of it, who I do like. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have there. So, but the art is nuts. It's by Sydney Espo Visuals, the artist. She's a beast. She's got like she's a monster. She's amazing. She just got sponsored by Solcy, which was wild. And yeah, dude, pretty cool. Okay.
So cool.
Top NFTs. Okay, so here's what we got for the last 30 days. Bored Ape Yacht Club, no question there. Mutant Ape Yacht Club right under it. You know what's crazy, bro? Mutant Ape Yacht Club was at 4 ETH. 4 fucking ETH in the last bear run. And the Bored Ape Kennel Club was at 1, I think, or 1.5. Bro, oh my god. I could have bought that. If I had
can't think about that shit.
If it was this past run, I could have afforded that. Like that's the part that kills me is that if I had like learned my lessons a little bit earlier, one run earlier, I could have literally had a Mutant Ape because I was one of the only projects I wanted anyway. So it's just like, damn, like really, fuck me. So anyways, Mutant Apes, we got Invisible Friends under, which is actually kind of surprising. I thought that project would lose a little bit of steam, but I guess this is the last 30 days, so maybe not. Punks, Clone X. I'm going to be doing a Clone X review soon. We got 3 landers. This is actually a project I was really surprised did so well and is holding so well. There's still like a 1.5 ETH floor or something. And a lot of like Giancarlo is a fan of them. I think NFT Verse is also a fan of them. Is it going to turn out to be just another project that's just getting hyped because it has a high floor price? Who knows? I feel like it. And then we got like Azuki and Meebits. But that's the
Dude, I
top
think that
projects.
it's the so with Threelanders, it is specifically to do with their like what they're building. They're built like their aim to build, and it's kind of again that kind of like metaverse land play, same as Bored Ape Yacht Club. But I
Yeah,
think that the feeling is that they've got some top quality builders that
yeah,
can do that
100%.
shit.
100%. And then this project, which I'm actually a fan of this project, they've done decently in the bear run. I think they got up to like 0.6 or 0.7 in the bull, holding like a 0.2 floor. Is the Dippies project, and they made me an honorary Dippy.
I saw this yesterday. How sick is
It's,
this,
it's fucking awesome, dude. I,
dude?
I was I was this close to making that my profile picture, but I just don't like the idea of like potentially pumping up a project, or like I don't know enough about the project to put that as a profile picture. I thought about doing it for like an hour just for fun, and I still might, but
Dude, I think there's some good vibes around that project,
they're
and
a
I
cool
think
project.
yeah, I think I was going to ask. I was like, this is the hairiest I've seen your face, and now it all makes sense.
And then they also said this in the description of that NFT. This is like on the blockchain. It's an honorary Dippy 4K Bergman, bro. And they've got like famous
That's so
people
cool.
in that
Yeah,
collection. It's like an honorary collection separate from the Dippy's collection. And there's
that is
fucking
so cool.
famous ass people in there. And I'm like, why am I in here? But like,
That's
I'm
so
down.
cool, man.
It was
So
wild.
cool.
Hey, Renoli Guitars is in the fucking house. Okay, this is it. This is the second to last topic of today. What's up? People are in the house. Let's go. Okay,
Yeah, what's up?
let's talk about it. I made this video yesterday, the Hape Beast update video. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. It's done pretty well so far. It's my first episode of the Brutally Honest update series. I'll be going back through all the blue chip projects I covered 4 months ago. It's much needed. Deadfellows has already been recorded. Deadfellows was pretty cool actually. And what else? I think after Deadfellows, I might be doing. I'm like bouncing between like old blue chips and new ones, or like new blue chips. So I think Azuki is after that, just for views. And so, what are your thoughts on Hate Beast? I had a lot of people not happy that I wasn't fudding Hate Beast, basically.
I got called out the other day for having a Hape as my PFP. It was kind of like almost a little bit like, why the fuck have you why have you got this? Like
Yeah.
it's shit or whatever. And yeah, to be quite honest, like the reason I like supported them was because they were a British based company, and like they yeah. So I've been paying attention to what they've been doing. They do this Hape of the Nation every
Hmm.
month, where they do a kind of like an all hands type meeting where the founder and the founding team just show people what they've been up to, how they've been delivering on the roadmap.
Hmm.
And they dropped one a few days ago, and I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was like, I haven't fucking seen any other projects do that. Not to the level of like it's better than most startups I've ever, like way better than any startup that I've ever worked at. A lot of thought have been going into it. This shit just takes ages to build. But I don't know what is your perspective on where what is the FUD? Where is the FUD coming from? Is it just impatience? Is that what
I
it is?
think I think the part of the FUD is the fact that, and I talked about this in the video, is that their floor apes suck compared to what they went out with initially in like the pre-sale and
Sure.
like so that was a big reason. I think if the floors looked better, I think there would be less FUD. The other
Mm.
thing is I think people bought in and saw the 10th floor and they're mad that it's at a 1th floor. I think that's the main reason. I don't think most people are
Oh,
thinking
right,
past
got
that.
you,
And it's like,
got
bro,
you.
like
Yeah,
if you like when you buy into a project where they literally said a million times that this is a long-term project where all the things we're building is going to take forever, and you
got
still
you.
bought and you're still mad it's not at a 10th floor. The only reason it's at a 10th floor is because it was the most hyped project of all time. That's the reason it was at a 10th floor. It's
Yeah,
not for any other reason. So I don't know why people are so mad that it's not at a 10th floor. I'm like, bro, it will never probably get to a 10th floor again unless it's like way, way, way later down the line and it becomes like that project or whatever. But it's because of the hype. That's why they did so well in the very beginning. So no one was surprised that it tanked. I think people were surprised the level it tanked to, which I was even a little bit
yeah,
surprised by that. But I mean, honestly, like there was some multiple times I like the way that they're attacking it from a business side, but I literally said no 4 or 5 separate times because I just didn't like any of the floor ones. Like that was literally the only
yeah,
reason I didn't buy
yeah,
in, and it
yeah.
sucks. But
Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't be doing the same. Like, I'm not going to convince someone to buy stuff that they don't like, because I look at collections all the time, and I'm looking at the floor, and I'm trying to find one that I vibe
yeah,
with, and we know the score. We all do it, and it's
yeah.
frustrating when you can't find one. And especially with Hape, it's just too difficult to find that. But yeah, I suppose I was coming at it from my yellow tinted glasses that I didn't realize. I forgot that people bought in at 10 ETH,
Yeah,
because
and
I was lucky enough to mint, and I've just ridden it. And so yeah, like I'm there for the long term. I think that they are the level of professionalism that I've seen them demonstrate on their, like, in what they're building, the way they're building out their team. I really do see them as, like, they are fucking working hard. And they're aiming to be the first with what they're trying to do. They're trying to be the fashion culture brand within the metaverse. And I think that they're going to be fucking miles ahead of anyone else. Like, they are. Like, I don't know if Clone X, are they? I mean, you're going to do the an update video on them. I mean, I don't even think they need to do anything, because
yeah.
they're just a collectible at this point. Whereas,
For me with Hape,
hey,
it's gonna be if people care to be like, either
yeah,
like, the thing is with any project, even if they have the coolest shit, if people don't want it, then it's like it doesn't even matter. And like my
yeah,
only concern with Hape Beast is that for me, I would have a hard time repping Hate Beast and being super stoked to be an NFT NYC and go to a Hate Beast event, because there's really no brand there other than we want to be we want to be the fashion project, which is
mm,
cool. But it's like, if you go to, if for example, if you went to like Gucci, if you went to a Gucci event, it's like there's not really a brand other than this is a cool hype clothes. There's nothing
yeah.
about it that like makes
I
you
know
feel
what you mean.
that
I know what you
you
mean.
just feel kind of cool. But if another company comes and knocks Gucci off the pedestal, no one will give a fuck about Gucci. And that's my biggest concern with Hape, is that it is a bit of a derivative project from Bored Ape Yacht Club. If Bored Ape Yacht Club
Yeah,
comes out with a 3D project, it's fucking over. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just going to be a better version of what Hape Beast looks like visually. And I'm just scared because
yeah,
it's going to look very, very similar. And Bored Ape Yacht Club has the brand over Hate Beast. So that's my main reason
yeah,
that I didn't invest, other than the floor price, or the floor ones looking
yeah.
kind of like trash.
And you said the name right. You know, we had the Gucci Grail kind of partnership with the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So the with the utility of, like, giving your ape a fucking Gucci piece of merch, like, that's the kind of thing that will just wipe
Yeah.
Hate Beast. So yeah, I'm like, who knows? But at the moment, I'm a happy spectator. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still up. I've made a
I was
4x or
gonna say you
whatever.
could still make a lot of money out of it anyway. It doesn't even matter. But yeah,
Yeah,
it does depend on your time frame. If you can't hold for the long run, and also if you didn't mint it, the it's a totally different story. If you mint it for point 0.2,
exactly.
no problem, bro. Like, that's the same reason I'm
Yeah,
holding Antonym. Like, I
yeah,
made money off that. So it's like, why the fuck would I
yeah,
care to sell this Antonym when I'm gonna get an in real life collectible guaranteed? Well, unless I just rug the project, like I'm gonna get the the collectible, and I swing trade the project and I minted it. So it's like I literally made like an ETH or two off it. So it's like there's
yeah,
no reason for me to sell that or to get bent out of shape that is not doing whatever. But if you bought it at 4 ETH floor, then yeah, I understand. Wise fool, just kind of ironic name. Get out of Hape. You know, if you were someone who bought one at 4 ETH, I would say probably, yeah, you probably shouldn't have bought at 4 ETH. I would have waited to buy, honestly, any project that's hyped up until a bear market if I wanted to get in. And for I don't even know how to say it, XV art. Have I bought a Deadfella? I have not. I like Deadfellas. I just don't actually like them. I love Deadfellas project and brand. I just don't like the art, and I'm very picky with
yeah.
art.
You
I
know
don't
my
like the
God.
way they look. I don't like how they look like this, like a school
Yeah,
picture.
it's so funny. I like, yeah, I for whatever reason, I would love one. I vibe it. I see them on PFPs, and I'm like, yeah,
Really,
I'm like, I would,
I like the
yeah, I like it.
color. I like the green color now
It's
a little bit more, but
yeah, the
I've
colors.
never been a huge fan of like zombies. Like, the only reason I would get a mutant ape is because it's part of the Bored Ape Yacht Club brand, and like that's just way more overpowering than me not liking zombies that much. But
Yeah,
for me, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, if Deadfellows goes to 10 ETH, I'm sure I'll want it more because it's worth 10 ETH kind of thing. But I have not bought a Deadfellows. I wouldn't be that opposed to getting one. I'm sure there's a few Deadfellows that I do like. I like the 3D ones. I saw the 3D renditions of them. I fuck with the 3D ones a lot. I don't know why, But I do fuck
Yeah.
with I do like Deadfellas as a project.
So I think, let's talk about that for a second, because if we think about the long-term prospects of some like some of the projects out there, Deadfellas does seemingly have one of the better long-term kind of upsides
Yeah,
to it.
100%.
And at the moment, you have their what's the word, like their kind of side project with Dead Friends at a pretty good entry point at the moment at around like
Mhm.
0.3. So
So
if
you said
yeah,
Dead Friends? Yeah.
yeah. So like if you're if you're looking to get into that project, a fairly cheap kind of price. I say cheap, but like a good entry price. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Dead Friends is definitely the way to get in. If you want to be part of the brand, but you don't want to pay 2.5 ETH. Do I have invisible friends? Fuck no, I don't have invisible friends. I don't have that kind of money. And I did
The only
not get
people that fucking got invisible friends, dude, were people that could either make art all day long or buy people to make art
Yeah,
all day long.
yeah.
And
There was just no reason for me to buy that project. It was cool, but it was hyped up. Like I don't really care. Which event do you think will cause the next level of Colonist 3D version or staking? I think both will help it. I don't know when they're gonna. I don't know if and when they'll have like a massive run up, but I'd be surprised if they didn't. I don't know. I feel like the staking in 3D release is cool, but like that's like every project thing. Like everyone does staking of some kind. Everyone's doing 3D. I just think it's going to be a gaming board. It's a gaming project. So if gaming goes on a run, I think they're one of the stronger projects that have been building, and they're still undervalued. That's what I think would be more of a catalyst if and when we go into a gaming bull run. And then we have a good question here from before we head into our last talk about GameStop. We have a question about cool pets. Dream about getting a cool cat, but maybe it's up to settle for a cool pet for now. I mean, yeah, it's a cheaper price to get in. I don't know what the utility or like the reason to get a cool pet is yet. I haven't done like a review on them yet, but
yeah.
what else? Trap still bunking. Okay. So then we have the last bit. We have the beta version for the GameStop like GameStop's marketplace for NFTs. This is literally it though. Like there's nothing else. But there's like a little that's like their
Dude, so here's a little story I
it.
have around GameStop. I have one of the guys that used to live below me. He convinced his entire family to put all of their money, all of their savings into GameStop before the shit that happened last year.
Oh my fucking god!
And
Before,
well, yeah, as in like that he was part of the was it Reddit? Was it in Reddit that they or something
yeah,
or like
yeah,
40
yep.
or something?
Reddit.
Reddit, I think. Yeah. And like so he was part of that. And so he convinced his entire family to put all of their savings into GameStop stock. And then it obviously went to shit
Oh no!
when you weren't allowed to start. You weren't allowed to. They weren't allowed to trade it because
dude, that was fucked. That was so.
it was fucked. It was so fucked. It was so fucked. And then, yeah, ironically by Robinhood, right? Like they were the ones who prevented people from trading it. And then, yeah, but like it's. Yeah, kind of, they're holding out, and it may happen. It may happen, and they may make their bags back. As not back,
it's very possible.
They'll make humongous bags. Yeah,
yeah, I hope so. But that was stupid.
So too, yeah,
never FOMO all your money into something dumb ever.
it's dumb as fuck. Yeah,
so FOMO some money if you're early, but don't FOMO everything. Thinking about buying a Mutant Ape Yacht Club, but alone that'd be 35% of my portfolio. I really want to get into the ecosystem, but not sure if it's too risky to allocate that much. Any better plays?
So it depends on your definition of portfolio. If that is if you're saying 35% of your NFT total portfolio balance, I'm saying that's a fucking steal.
Yeah.
That's from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, like you shouldn't be holding huge. There's not many projects out there that you can say have got a great long-term objective, but at the moment, the Bored Ape Yacht Club seem to be the ones that will hold value. They're going to be in the 3% or the 2% that make it.
I think he's asking if 20 ETH is a good buy-in, and I think I would maybe wait. Well, I don't know. They had a pump up because of the ape coin, but ape coin's kind of like died off. I mean, everyone claimed all their ape already. So it's like I think maybe the real question is like, is now the time to buy Mutant Ape Yacht Club, or is it better to wait until the next like bearish sentiment again? Because right now we're in a bearish sentiment, but Bored Ape Yacht Club's kind of decoupled itself a little bit from the rest of the market because of these last few announcements. And I think honestly, for me, I still think any Bored Ape Yacht Club anywhere from the 10 to 20 ETH range is a buy. And I know that's a pretty crazy range of prices right there. But I mean, it's like it'd be like buying Bored Ape Yacht Club at 30 ETH for 40 ETH, and now it's at 100. It's like it really doesn't matter that much. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, I think yeah. You obviously, as always, not financial advice. You have to kind of like, but from my perspective, if I'm thinking about that, if I have that much liquidity to play with, then yeah, I'd probably be thinking about taking a punt.
Yeah, I would get into the Bored Ape Yacht Club system for sure. If you can afford it, I definitely. It's not a bad play.
Yeah,
But as far as if now is the right time, that's a tough question because we've never seen Bored Ape Yacht Club drop so many announcements in 1 week. I mean, it's definitely all planned for a long time because of the way everything went, the way every single fucking corporation was ready for it and tweeting about it. It was weird. It was like Illuminati shit. Coinbase was doing giveaways. Voyager was doing giveaways. Gemini was in on FTX. Everyone was ready for the ApeCoin release because everyone benefits from it. It was just weird because I was like, bro, that's kind of fucked. Like, and then, dude, this is the worst thing. Amy Wu, the girl from FTX who's on the team for ApeCoin, who I'm sure is very qualified, very smart, very all the things, but she comes on in the middle of the Twitter space and goes, "Can I just say something about FTX real quick?" And they're like, "Sure." This was by far the biggest launch we've ever had. I'm like, no shit, bro. Of course it was. You guys literally plastered it all over everywhere. It couldn't have not been. Like, did you ever do that for any other coin? The answer is no, bro. The answer is no. The reason it did so well off the bump and went to $20 almost because everyone was pumping it. Like, that's a classic pump and dump. I'm actually shocked that it didn't dump below $10. I'm still shocked it's holding above $10. It's dumping a little bit now. It's like, I think it was at 13 today and it's down to like 11 or 12 now. But I was shocked it didn't take a bigger dump. I mean, it's doing well so far, but I think it's because people believe in the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah, exactly. I think like sentiment's really good on the project, and you can see it's if anything, it kind of it hit like a support level about 3 days ago now, and it's just been steadily going up. And yeah, we're now at like we're at 13 at the moment, or 12. Yeah, 13. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's holding at 13. I thought it'd be closer to like 7 holding at the support, but who the fuck knows, dude? Anthony says, invest in a blue chip. You will never lose. Plus, they're building out. Well, the interesting thing is like blue chips can go down, but the one thing that blue chips have over new projects and projects that aren't classified as like blue chip in quotes is that blue chips can do whatever the fuck they want, dude. Like projects can pump out a Cool Man pumped from 1 ETH to 1.4. It's holding the new support line is 0.4 over what it was a couple weeks ago. And part of that was because of rumors and news, but we were in the middle of a bear market, dude. Like a project to go from 1 ETH to 2.5 ETH in a matter of hours is not a thing, right? And that would never happen for any other project than a potential blue chip. And then, the random 1 in 1,000 degen project that happens every couple weeks, like whatever. There was like some bottle project or something that pumped to like 2 ETH, and everyone was like, why? And like that happens, but you're never going to know if that's going to happen, but your chances of that happening are higher in a blue chip. But shit, dude. I mean, that's pretty much it. We just knocked out all the things that happened this past 10 days or 7 days or so. You had a bit of a week off last week, and me and Nate got together and did an episode together. He did it at like 4 a.m. or something, or 5 a.m.
Yeah,
which was insane.
I felt bad then. It was. I was like, I watched it and I loved it. It was so great. It was great to hear you guys rumble. But yeah, poor guy had to wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, and I wish he had told me that. He was just like, "Yeah, I'll be up anyway. I have another call an hour before," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then like as he's getting, he said, "Oh, by the way, it'll be like 5 a.m. here." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I know. I saw his tweet the next day, and it was like, later that morning, he was like, "Yes, 8 a.m. and I've already done 3 hours of sleep."
And all the comments were so funny. I was like, "Yo, shut up!" They were all like, "Man, Nate needs to take a nap," and I was like, "Oh God, dude, like he knows this. You don't gotta tell him that." It's fucking funny. But yeah, shit. I mean, do you have any other topics you want to talk about?
No, man. We've covered every single topic known to humankind, and I hope you guys are all much more wise because of it.
Yeah. You got any alpha you want to drop as far as videos you're posting soon, things you got your eye on, potential things coming up, or not so much?
So we might have a potential fun week for us next week, because we have the mint of a project that's coming up. That's dropping. It is a pretty hype project of the last kind of few weeks. It's been going on for a few months. It's the Mutant Shiba Club, and yeah, kind of seeing how that plays out. That should be a fun one. But otherwise, nah,
True.
nothing, man.
Yeah, for me too. I think just that new series, the Brilliance updates. I've been waiting to do that for so long. I just need. There was like a few videos I needed to get through before I was like, okay, green light. I can go ahead and start doing this. And I think there's like a handful of projects I haven't reviewed yet, and so I'll be doing those like just randomly sprinkled in. But the updates, that's like the most exciting thing because I'm excited to catch up and see what they've been up to. And the best part about the Deadfellas video was that since it's been building for so long, and since I recorded that video, the original review so long ago, I was able to look at their roadmap and say, what have they actually accomplished from their roadmap from 4 months ago? And that was fun because they actually had accomplished some of those things and they were in the direction that they wanted to go, which is what a roadmap is. It's just telling you where they want to go and the direction they want to go. And so that was a fun video for me to record. And when I recorded that video, I was at the end, I turned off my camera and I was like, yo, that was actually, I've never felt so good at the end of recording a video because that was like kind of fun to just, there wasn't a lot of pressure. I didn't have to go through every single thing in the project again. Like I didn't review the whole project. I just did an update on them. And so I didn't have to like go through everyone on the team all over again. I was like, wow, that was kind of fucking nice.
Yeah, nice, dude. I
nice.
had the same. Today was the first time I did like an update video, and it was nice to like see them having. It was a project called the Elysium Club, and they were the ones that were promising like luxury yacht, like free luxury yacht stuff, private jets, fucking all that shit. And in fairness to them, in the last 2 months, they've delivered a load of stuff to their holders. So it was cool. It was cool. Yeah.
That's awesome to see.
Yeah, really great. Like, so that'll be that, by the way, that video is going to be going live in the next 20 minutes. So you can fucking watch it on my channel.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to be at NFT NYC. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully we see you guys there. And anyways, fam, if you're still watching this video and you haven't clicked the like button, I don't know what you're doing, smash the like button, subscribe to both our channels, Tom Young's on YouTube, the Tom Young's on Twitter. If it's not, I think it's in the description, but if it's not, I'll add it in there. And then the code word is gonna be Prime for Prime. I've been really.
How much more of that? How much more of that shit? How much more of you have that shit have you got to drink? How many bottles have you got left?
Like how many bottles? I bought another package of it. I've got like 30 bottles in that package. I fucking like.
Is it sugar free? Is it sugar free?
Dude, it's everything free. It's 25 calories. It makes no sense. Look at this shit.
Well, how can it be 25 calories if it's free of everything? It must be must have something in. What is it?
There's
cocaine?
Like 6 grams of carbs. There's like 6 grams of carbs, and then. Hold on. There's not much in here. It's wild, dude. It's really fucking good. Caffeine free, gluten free.
Caffeine free. What the fuck's the point of that?
Well, they're trying to compete with Gatorade. It's like a hydration drink.
Got you.
But anyways, I would say if you're gonna try one, for anyone listening, you should try either the orange flavor or grape. I know generally blue is always the best flavor. This is a good generic flavor, but grape flavor tastes like grape juice. Like genuinely tastes exactly like grape juice, and it's 25 calories. Grape juice is hundreds of calories packed with sugar, and it's literally all artificial. And like this stuff is 25 calories, and I'm like, bro, I'm not rich enough to drink 16 ounces of grape juice. Okay, I drink grape juice in 4-ounce segments because I'm broke all the time, right? Like that's a reality for most people. Grape juice is expensive. And so I'm like,
grape juice is the king.
I'm enjoying 16 ounces of grape juice and no calories. Yeah. I'm down. But anyways, so we appreciate everyone being in the chat and hanging out with us while we bullshitted for like an hour. What's up, Chris? You are gonna have to watch the replay. What's the code word for it? It's just to know who's in here, and we remember your names. It'll be helpful when we have millions and millions of subscribers, and it'll be fun, dude. So hell yeah. Anyways. Cool. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom, like this video. Until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye. End stream. Oh, wait, we should do the graphic. Boom.